I started off, I would say, as a sports coach. So I was doing coaching during the half times. So this is about when I was 18, 19. And I'd be working with children who were from secondary school backgrounds, some were primary school backgrounds, coming just from different areas, I guess, from East London, from North London as well. And the multi-sports coaching was primarily football, which is what my background is in terms of my favorite sport. But we also did different sports as well. So that for me was the first time I really got introduced into coaching children, working with children of all different age groups. And it was lovely to be able to teach them my favorite sport, but also to just talk to them in general, to help them with other different types of skills, how to get along with each other, how to resolve issues, how to just, listen really to any kind of problems that they may have had. And being a coach, they felt more comfortable to talk to us as well. So I realized that although I was coaching and helping them with different skills, it was more than just those physical skills. It was more than just how to kick a ball. It was more than just how to, pass and move. It was teach them life skills. And that was what really drew me into the idea of maybe looking to work in schools as well. So it was a brilliant experience. It was with secondary school kids, but I then went on to working in a school, working one to one, and that was working with children who had, for instance, who struggled, I guess, to hold their attention in class, who some would say have behavioural issues and so forth. And for me, it's just going in there and trying to help them and to stay focused. And again, that had its challenges. Just being able to connect with a child and help him or help her to keep that focus. So again, it was about being able to work with every child there. And because I came from a sport background, again, I love playing football and I love doing different sports. I was able to connect with children using those different sports as well. So we'd look at different interventions that we could do to again help them with their sports, but help them just with their basic life skills. So I moved on to then working as a mentor in a primary school. So I was now working with a range of different children who were maybe struggling in class or out of class. And again, it was nice for me to be able to create different interventions for them, some which were sports related, some which were just more about developing social skills. But for me, bringing my skills in PE and sports, and then bringing the life skills together and helping these children to work on those areas, that was brilliant for me. I realized how much I was helping and benefiting these children by just learning these different life skills through sports. So yeah, it was a great opportunity for me, and that's when I realized, yeah, I do actually want to get into teaching, and I would love to be a PE teacher. So it was interesting because I applied initially for a PE position as in primary, or as in a doing a PGC in PE. But just how fortunate would be that I actually got an opportunity to go to a university which was doing PGC primary with a PE specialist. So it was a very, very challenging year because I was teaching in classrooms, but it was really beneficial for me because I really learned so many different skills through different teachers as well that I could also bring to my PE teaching as well. So working and teaching in school and teaching in the classroom, and then bringing out some of those skills, behavior management, and just different skills, setting up sessions and how they link with other activities. So that really increased my ability to be able to teach. It's interesting because obviously what you started off enjoying, obviously in time, that can always change. When I first started off, obviously teaching PE, it was great to be able to help children just enjoy taking part in different sports. And it was great to see children who had great ability in, for instance, football, and just being able to see how can I nurture that and how can I encourage them to keep playing and how can I actually help them to further their, to improve their talents by taking them outside of school, helping them to connect with different clubs, for instance. And, I've had a background of being able to help children to also take that ability that they've had and introduce them to sporting clubs, on, Sunday league football. So that was something that I really enjoyed doing, which was being able to help those children. But as time has gone on, and it still remains, if not probably isn't the most important thing for me, is helping children to realize their potential and to be able to bring that potential into other areas of their life. Um, so helping them to realize how they can get along with different people, how they can learn so many life skills, so many social skills, how to interact with different people when they're in different groups, how they can, you know, bring those skills into the classroom, bring those skills into other areas of their lives. And PE is connected in so many ways. It's not just about how hard you can hit something or how fast you can run. It's not just the physical skills. That is important, but there are so many life skills, there's so many social skills, there's so many personal skills, there's so many challenges that you see in PE that you can encourage them to overcome in PE, and then tell them, look, you can bring that in any other challenge you have in life. So being able to mix PE with mentoring, being able to show children that PE can relate to so many aspects in your life is really important for me. That's what I really enjoy. Some of the misconceptions, I guess. PE is just fun and games. Um, PE is not just fun and games. At least I don't believe so. It's a great subject. It's a subject that a lot of people can enjoy. But I think if they go in with the idea of PE is just a bit of fun and games, then you very quickly have children who maybe don't take it seriously, who decide, well, if it's a bit of fun and games, I don't think I want to take part today. And you need to quickly remind them, well, actually, it's a lesson and this is a subject. And yes, we do need to try. I think that mentality can be adopted by a lot of people and unintentionally. It's not always given for me, it's not always given the opportunities as much as other subjects. And so we need to be, as PE teachers, we need to be creative in our teaching, and we need to be able to adapt, whether it be with the equipment, whether it be with the environment. No one controls the weather, and you can have a session set up ready to go, and just like that, the weather changes. It starts pouring down with rain, and you need to find a place to teach PE and teach those lesson objectives, and you may not always have the space to do it. So as a PE teacher, you need to be very creative in your teaching. You need to be open to new suggestions, different ways of teaching, different ways of using the equipment, and again, just making children and teachers, your fellow workmates, realize how important this lesson is. I'd say patience is a very big one. And again, that's something that every teacher can relate to, working with different characters in terms of the children. You are going to get different backgrounds and in terms of their physical abilities when we're thinking about PE, in terms of their patience with each other. A child who's very good at a certain sport, who's used to winning, doesn't always mean that they're going to be great leaders in terms of when they work with a team. They can equally get as frustrated with a child who isn't on their ability. And it's about being able to tell them or show them that actually you can help this other child to build their confidence, that winning isn't everything. Sometimes you win, sometimes you won't. And when you don't win, how are we going to react? So you find yourself perhaps thinking about different activities that you can do, that you would initially think, oh, this is going to be a great activity. They're going to enjoy it. It might be an activity they want to do. And then when you set it up, you find out very quickly, actually, they don't enjoy it because they don't know how to interact with each other in their group. There's so many arguments and there's so many, we lost, I don't want to play anymore. So these skills that we try to teach them, these life skills that we're trying to teach them whilst playing sports, can always be difficult. And those would be, those, you'll get those challenges all the time. But if you keep at it, if you're persistent at it, if you have that patience, and you're able to show a child, well, actually, you didn't win today, but I was really impressed with the way you kept going. You showed that determination, you never gave up. I was really impressed with the way you were able to encourage another person on your team to try and, pass the ball to someone else. Or just how they delivered that message. I was really impressed with the way that you had a strategy, but you didn't force that strategy onto your teammates. You actually worked together and you decided, okay, I'm going to play here, you're going to play there. So these skills that you build with these children are amazing, but it takes a lot of patience. Be open to just viewing as many teachers as you can. Teach, assist. I think as a primary teacher, you may be thinking, or maybe you've already thought, I prefer to work in this area with these type of children. In terms of type of children, I mean the age groups. I prefer maybe the key stage 1, the year 1s, the year 2s, the nurseries. I prefer the year 5s, the year 6s. I've had the pleasure of working in an all-through school where I worked with primary and secondary children, and I was working as a PE teacher. But being open to being able to just view different teachers in different environments that you may not always be in, but be able to see some of the differences and then some of the similarities, some of the things that they go through, which actually you go through as well in your field, and just seeing how they deal with it, how they deal with those challenges, how they overcome those challenges. Again, when I started off as a PE studying my PGC, and initially it was a challenge for me because I wanted to be a PE teacher, and I had to go through the route of teaching every subject just to teach PE when I came out. And initially I thought this is going to be a huge challenge, and it was. But I was so grateful as the years have gone on. I've been so grateful to be able to teach other subjects and just see some of the challenges they had and how they dealt with it, and being able to bring that into my PE teaching as well, whether it be structuring lessons, linking a starter activity to a skill development, to a main activity in terms of football, or not football in terms of PE, just seeing those similarities. And it's all because I was open enough to just be able to keep looking at everyone else, at how they teach, how they interact with children, different behaviors, and how did they deal with different behaviors. Because you never know, you will have similar behaviors in your class. You'll have similar behaviors in your PE teaching that you can say, actually, this child reminds me of this child, and this is how I dealt with it. And I only was able to deal with that because I saw that other person in another class. So that for me is probably my biggest advice I'd give to anyone starting off.